Masters Vessel Classical Academy, Primary Section. On the roll.
Hi, wonderful pupils at home. I am delighted to have you again in today's class on social studies. I remain your teacher, Mrs. Edward Lovelyn Abbey, and I am teaching Primary 4. Our topic for today is the first aid treatment. What is our topic for today? In social studies, the first aid treatment. That's our topic for today. And I want you to listen carefully to me because there are certain things you should be able to do at the end of this lesson. So, by the end of this lesson, you should be able to 1. Define the term first aid. 2. Mention the major injuries sustained from accidents. 3. Explain the meaning of scalds, burns, and bruises. Okay. Now, before we proceed, I want us to recall what we did last time in social studies. And in our last class, we treated meaning of accidents, meaning and types of accidents. Okay? And we started by defining accident as a dislike event that occurs suddenly without plan. We discussed that accidents can happen it happens without plan. Nobody plans for it, and it can happen anywhere and at any time. Okay? And we mentioned and explained the various types of accidents, such as road accidents, water accidents, air accidents, etc. And we also discussed the various causes of accidents, such as carelessness, hastiness and impatience, drunk driving, bad roads, etc. Okay, so now let's quickly go into what we have today. I told you that our topic today is first aid treatment. So let's start by defining first aid treatment. Let's start by defining first aid treatment. Now, first aid treatment is the immediate and temporary medical care given to an injured person, a victim of accident, or somebody who suddenly fell sick until a medical personnel takes over the treatment, leading to his or her cure. Now, it is quite a long definition, but let us break it down so that you'll be able to understand the actual meaning of first aid treatment. So I said that it is, like the name goes, first aid treatment. It is the immediate, the first treatment, though it is temporary, but it is the first treatment that you can give to an injured person. To an what? Injured person. Maybe somebody who had a cut or a bruise or a sprain. So any type of injury that the person sustained, the person is entitled to this first aid treatment. So, first aid treatment could be given to an injured person, a victim of accidents. That's somebody who is involved in an accident. Any type of accident, like we mentioned in our last lesson, various types of accidents. So, first aid treatment can be given to a victim of accident, or it can also be given to somebody who suddenly fell sick Maybe somebody who suddenly started having headache or fever. You can give the person the first aid treatment before a medical personnel takes over the treatment, leading to the person's cure. And we have examples of medical personnel as doctors, nurses, chemists, pharmacists, dentists, and so on and so forth. So, in summary, first aid treatment is immediate and temporary medical care given to an injured person, a victim of accident, or somebody who suddenly fell sick until a medical personnel takes over the treatment, leading to his or her cure. Now, I want us to take note of the major injuries sustained by accidents. There are major injuries sustained from accidents. Those injuries include the following. The major injuries that are sustained from accidents include the following. 1. Burns. B-U-R-N-S. Burns. B-U-R-N-S. Burns. Okay. The second major injury sustained from accident is scalds. And scalds is spelled S-C-A-L-D-S. Scalds. And lastly, bruises. And bruises is spelled B-R-U-I-S-E-S. Bruises. So, the major injuries sustained from accidents include the following: burns, scars, and bruises. Now, let's start by discussing the first aid treatment for burns. The first aid treatment for burns. 1. A burn is an injury inflicted on a person. A burn is an injury inflicted on a person through naked fire or dry heat accident. Naked fire. If somebody happens to be inflicted by naked fire or dry heat accident, the injury the person will sustain is called burns. Okay? Now, heat burn is painful as it burns the skin and discolors it. Children, have you seen somebody who has been burned by fire? You'll notice that the part of the skin that the person was burnt will discolor. It will have another color. Okay? So, heat burn is painful as it burns the skin and discolors it. Now, there are 3 forms of burn. This burn we are talking about has 3 forms. The burn we are talking about has 3 forms. The first form is minor burns. Minor burns, called first-degree burns. The minor burn is also called first-degree burns, and it does not form blisters. It does not form what? Blisters. And blister simply means a blister. If you have a blister, it means that part of your body where you have the blister is swollen. Is swollen with liquids inside it. With liquids or fluid inside it. That is what we call blister. So, the first form of burn is minor burns, which is called first-degree burns. And this type of burn doesn't form blisters. Okay? Now, the second-degree burns forms blisters. The second-degree burns form blisters. Then there is another degree, which is the third-degree burns. This destroys the skin and shows up the reddish bare skin. When somebody has this type of burn, the third-degree burn, it will destroy the person's skin and show up the reddish bare skin. You'll be seeing the inside of the skin. Okay, now we are going to see how the type of first aid that we can give to those who have burn. Now, when there is a burn, the following first aid should be administered. First, if it is second-degree burns, remember, I told you that second-degree burns form blisters. And you already know what blisters are. Swollen part of the body that has fluid in it is called what? Blisters. So if it is a second-degree burns, break the blisters. Break the what? Blisters, and wash gently with soap and boiled water that has cooled. The water you have boiled, you will leave it to do what? To cool before you will use it on the burn. Now leave the burns uncovered and allow it to dry if it is not on a joint. After washing the burn with soap and boiled water that has already cooled, leave the burns uncovered. Don't cover it with anything, okay? Just allow it to dry if it is not on a joint. But if it is on a joint, the person should be taken to a medical personnel immediately, okay? Now, after the burn has dried, you have to apply gentile violet, okay? Gentile violet solution, the one we call GV. Apply it to keep it clean. The GV you applied on it will help it to remain clean and speed up the healing process within 2 weeks. Okay, now, if it is a third-degree burn, don't try treating it. Just rush the victim straight to the hospital for proper medical attention. Okay? A third-degree burn does not require first aid treatment by somebody who is not a medical personnel. Just rush the person straight to the hospital for proper medical attention. Now, let us discuss the first aid treatment for scalds. First aid treatment for scalds. Now, scalds are injuries sustained with hot boiled water. So the type of injury you have, so somebody has when hot water is poured on the skin of the person is called what? Scalds. And scalds, like I have spelled before, is spelled SCALDS. Scalds. So scalds are injuries sustained with hot boiled water. It also has first, second, and third degree scalds, and it is treated like burns. The same way, when somebody has sustained scalds, you have to treat the person the way you treat the person who sustained burns. Exactly. So 2 of them have the same treatment. If it is a third-degree scalds, do not touch the affected area. Cover it with a clean cloth and take the victim to the hospital. Burns and scalds have the same medical treatment as one injury. Okay, now let's discuss the first aid treatment for bruises. Now, what is a bruise? A bruise is an injury on the body which gets swollen up or forming a reddish mark without breaking the skin. Let me repeat the meaning of bruise. A bruise is an injury on the body which gets swollen up or forming a reddish mark without breaking the skin. So oftentimes you children fall and sustain bruises. You fall and sustain bruises. So, but in bruise, you don't see the skin, the part of the body that has bruise will not open up. It doesn't open up. The only thing you will see there is a swell. The place will swell up. Okay? the place we do was swell up. Sometimes you notice that the place is reddish. It's reddish in color. But it will not break the skin. That is a type of injury that is called what? A bruise. Okay? It is often sustained through blunt objects, which injures us without a cut. Now, let us know how we can treat bruises. It can be treated through the following ways. 1. Put ice block in a towel and place it on the surface of the bruise. What did I say? Once somebody sustains bruise on any part of the body and you notice the place is swelling up, the first treatment you should give the person is put ice block in a towel and place it on the surface of the bruise. But if there is no ice block around, you can use cold water. Just ordinary cold water, room temperature. Use it in a towel and place it on that place. Leave it there for a long time. 2. If it results in swells, place your palm on the affected areas and rub hard for some time. If the place refuses to go in, it continues swelling up, what you will do is to place your palm on the place and rub it hard for some time until it goes in. Okay, by that we have come to the end of today's lesson. But before we go, a recap of what we have done so far. We started by defining first aid treatment. We said that first aid treatment is the immediate and temporary medical care given to an injured person, a victim of accident, or somebody who suddenly fell sick until a medical personnel takes over the treatment leading to his or her cure. We also mentioned the 3 major injuries sustained from accidents, and they include burns, scalds, and bruises. And we also discussed the various first aid treatments that we can use on people who have burns, scalds, and injuries. Burns, scalds, and bruises. And now, let us take down our assignments. Let's take down our assignment. And our assignment is 1. What is first aid treatment? Write the meaning of first aid treatment. 2. The major injuries sustained from accidents include ... and ... Then, number 4, define the following terms: scalds, burns, and bruises. Thank you for listening to me. Stay safe for now until we meet again. Bye.